Mr. Holt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the witnesses for good testimony. I had to leave the room during some of the questioning, and so let me talk about some things that, and ask you to talk about some things that might be repetitious, but even if they are, they're important enough that I think it warrants it. Science education, and I know Ms. Biggert touched on that and talked about the resolution we have that that says that in any reauthorization or other actions, strong consideration should be given to science education in accountability, in any accountability measurements. And I'm sure it has been said, but it is worth saying, you know, science is not just another subject. Whether we're talking about jobs that will await students, the technological innovation that this country needs, the global competitiveness, or whether we're talking about the fact that students like science unless they're told that they don't. And that students who do well in science, especially those who are not planning to become scientists, tend to be students who do well in other subjects. I mean, and there's some evidence that there's some causality there, that the science actually helps them. And I think it is a route, and for many students, the best route for critical thinking, understanding the value of data and observation and experiment and so forth. The question is, will it work? Can we, now that we're collecting we're testing and collecting data on science, can it be included reasonably in an accountability system? Let me start in reverse order with Dr. Seikel here, and if you have thoughts on that.
Excuse me. Yes, it absolutely can be included in a system of accountability. There are national and state science standards that we believe all students should be graduated from our high schools with the ability to master, whether it's earth science and biology and chemistry and physics. There are components of all of those subject areas that are crucial to be good citizens, career, lifelong learners, higher education, et cetera. So it needs to have just as important place as reading, writing, and mathematics does.
To the extent that you assign importance to reading and math, and those are the two key criteria, No Child Left Behind, I do believe that assigning importance to science and writing is equally important. I mean, there's a reason why American children are performing comparatively better in reading and math than their international counterparts that they are in science. It's because what you don't measure, it sort of denotes that you don't value it. So there's a lot to be said. Take it from a former physics
I noticed
teacher.
that, and I was pleased to see that, I must say.
A physics teacher and chemistry teacher,
Yes.
both at the high school and college level courses. If you value it, you need to engage in the degree of data collection and measurement across the country. You're not going to be able to breach that 25th in the world performance in science unless you do so. Nobody in Finland cares about how people in Georgia are doing, or California, or Florida. They're all betting that we don't breach that 25th in the world ranking as a nation, because they keep on improving. So I do think that beyond Sputnik, I think we lost some momentum, and it is time to regain it. And to a previous question, is it possible? Is it possible? And part of your question, is it possible to do that? Of course it is possible. The nation that put the first man on the moon can absolutely do this. This is not a skill set problem.
Oh,
it is a
we know how to teach
issue.
science. Students want to learn it. The question is, can we make it part of the accountability system? Ms. Howell.
I agree that we can. I think that we need to be careful in how we assess that, because often in the assessment, you're not always assessing just the knowledge base. It comes back to math and reading, well, reading and writing and things like that. So I think that we need to approach it from the angle that we need to look at what exactly are we assessing. But absolutely,
I was alluding to the fact that I would like to see it assessed in a way that particularly looks at its value for the non-science students,
yes.
those students who are not going to be, Ms. Kandera?
The gentleman's time has expired.